Hello, welcome to Bunny Bash Night 3. We are doing a really cute project tonight. I think you will love it, and I think that you will be surprised that you can turn the stencil into what it's going to look like, or at least I think that. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that that we are cruising through and have done a fun project each night. So we did the first night, we did the little tea light bunnies, and last night we did the sheep, and we did the primitive one last night. So very cute. I promised you I would go live and hop on and show you do the vote. It did not work out, and I honestly tried my hardest and crash and burn. I have way too much. I think I bit off way more than I can chew. But tomorrow night, I'm not supposed to be live tomorrow night. So that was kind of the break day before the grand finale. So everything's ready. But I will go live tomorrow. So, and show you those extra things that we haven't got to do. So, yeah, hop on in. And I would appreciate it like so much if you could spread the honey, because then more people see it and they might love to do this project. So I want to show you, this is the bunny stencil we're going to use. And mine looks a little goofy because I painted it and I thought I would clean it and then I didn't. So that's what it looks like. And I was trying to put it against something so you can see it. So that's what the stencil looks like. But when we get done with it, this is what it's going to look like. Is that not so cute? Do you like it? Isn't she so cute? So I see some hearts going up. Yay, I'm glad you like her. She is so fun to paint and you can do it. So it's a really fun process. And it takes a minute to get through all the steps, but it comes out looking really, really cute. So you can make her without the glasses, but of course I thought the glasses were so cute. So when I got it done, I kept looking at it, and so then I was like, I think she needs glasses. So I went to Mark and I was like, can you shrink these glasses and do this and change the nose? And I was having him do all the stuff. So you like it? You like it? You like it? So that's what we're going to do. So this one, you can see that I stenciled on the sides. And I showed that sneak peek of the sides when I was stenciling back a couple weeks ago when I was doing it. It also has a polka dot background, but they're real subtle. Isn't it so cute? She's adorable. So this one, I glued the glasses on, and I used this soft apple in folk art. It's a really pretty light green, and but you can pick any mint green if you want to do this color. So that's that bunny. So then I did another one. I was like, where did I put it? And I have not glued the glasses on because I wanted you to see it without the glasses, because I wanted you to be able to see that you can do it without the glasses if you choose. But if you like the glasses, you will be able to purchase those Thursday night and you can add those to her. So this is what I did, one in gray. And so this one, I did not put the glasses on. I have them right here. I started to glue them earlier and I'm like, no, I'm going to wait and let them see her without the glasses, because I don't want anyone to think like, oh, well, I have to have the glasses and or it's not going to look right. And maybe you don't want to order the glasses. So that's the difference. So you can do it either way. So which one you like better, the gray one or the brown one? I always have to ask you like which you like better, because I'm always curious. I'm always curious to see what you like. Oh, Tracy. Okay, so let me show you the difference. So this is what she looks like. And then when you put the glasses on her, I don't know if I have those centered. Let me look at it so I can center it. So that's what it, sorry. Maybe I should have just glued them. I wanted you to see it though. So that's what she looks like with the glasses. So do you like with the glasses or without? I think that the glasses just make her so cute. You like the gray one best, Patty? You like the gray one? The gray one I did today because I painted the sample a couple weeks ago. So today I thought, oh, I better paint another one and kind of like refresh myself, because when I painted this, it's the first time I've ever used a rake brush. Like, I've never used one, or a whisk brush. They call them different things. I'd never used one before. I've had them. I got them when Dries went out of business, so that would be 3.5 years ago. And I've never used it. So it was my first attempt, and I loved how it turned out. So anyway, but I definitely think the glasses just makes her so cute. So cute. I just think it just makes her pop. So anyway, so there we go. You love it with the glasses? You like the gray bunny, Kathy? Well, I'm glad you like it. This, I think, is one of my favorite. Like, I love every project I picked. Like, Thursday nights is really cute. It's going to be chick night. And I think you will think it's so cute what we're doing. I mean, it is. It's really cute. And I've been really excited about it. But I've been really excited about this one too. So that's the bunny we're going to make tonight. So it takes a while. I don't know that we will get finished. I will try to work as quickly as I can. And also I might have to come back on tomorrow when I do the votive and stuff. Instead of taking the day off, I will probably actually have to do the lettering and stuff, because I just don't think we'll get that far. So on this one, I did the polka dots on the background and a different flower background on the sides, just because I thought that was really fun. Now this one, I did the polka dots on the background because I just thought it looked really cute. And then I used this stencil down the sides, and then I dotted the middle. So I thought it looked really cute. I did not do this side. So see the difference? Like, it's fine. But when you see that side, like if you pick that up, like if you were going to look at it to buy it or something, like it just makes it feel extra special, I think. So, I don't know. People said the other night their phones kept going to a green screen, and mine isn't, but I don't know why that is. But it has definitely got problems. I told Mark last night, Facebook is definitely having some issues, for sure. So, but anyway, that one with the glasses again. So let's get going so you can see how we're going to do this. So we're using, like I said, a whisk brush, and I put them in the Amazon store. You can also get them at Hobby Lobby. I got one there, and it came like this. So it's Royal Langnickel, and it looked like this. So I used a quarter, or this is 3/8, I'm sorry, and a 1/4 inch, and then I have a quarter inch, a 3/8, and a 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch is what I did the green one with. I did the whole thing with a 1/2 inch, and then I got the smaller one off of Amazon, and it was really helpful when I did the gray one for some smaller areas. So, but you could get this one at Hobby Lobby if that's where you want to get it. Okay, so let's get you down here because we have several little steps. Oh, and tonight you can use like a 1-inch board if you want to do it on something like that and frame it out, make it a sign or whatever. But I'm going to be using a 2x6. Whoops, I have it upside or backwards, and I painted it a coral color to match my shirt. Well, it doesn't match my shirt, but it goes with my shirt. So I used crushed coral and just added some white to it to tone it down a tad. But I love all these colors, and I wanted kind of like some different representation of color. So that's why I chose coral for this. So that's what we're going to be working on. So let me move the bunny and bring you down. So I hope that you enjoy this. There's some parts of it that will look, hang on, a little bit wonky. Like we'll get to stages where it'll just look like you're going to be going, oh my, like, I don't think so. But it really does come together. You just have to trust the process and keep going. All right, so I'm trying to get you in close enough. That might be too close. You might not want that close, huh? But So first of all, the first things we have to do, and I started to do it beforehand, so I didn't take up time, but then I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And Megan pinned the link for this bunny up there. I think a lot of you have already ordered it, but it is small. If you go to my link tree, there is a stencil list, and all the background stencils and everything are on there, and I tried to note what size they are. But this is size small, and if you use if you put Being Creative with Miss, all one word, in the discount code area, you will get 15% off. Anytime you want to use that code, you will get that percentage off. So remember that, or jot it down somewhere. So I am just taping this stuff off because we're just going to use the outline of it at first. That's just what we're doing. We're going to use the outline and kind of refer back to it several times, but for right now, we don't want these extra things on there. So that's why I'm taping it off. And this is just painter's tape, and it's just, I'm trying to do it really quick. So you're just trying to go in there because I don't want to have to worry about keeping it out of all those areas. So it's just easiest to tape it off. Whoops. So, and then we will get going and you will see how fun this is. I don't do many of you already have like a rake brush? It looks different. I don't know if I can show it to you. So the ones I linked on Amazon are 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, but they have, it's hard to see, like some of the hairs are longer. This is the best representation for you to be able to see it, but it's kind of different than mine. This is the one from Hobby Lobby. These are the ones I linked on Amazon are this one, and this is the one I already had, but they're very similar. So I linked the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch on Amazon. But the ones on Amazon are really good. I like those. So how many of you are accustomed to using that? I call it a rake, like I've always known it as a rake brush, but like I said, never used it. And have had them all that time and never used them. So, oh well. I'm just glad I finally used it and like was so amazed. Like I just thought it was really cool how it put out some wispy hairs and looked really neat. So that was fun to do. So I was excited to share it with you and just thought it turned out super cute. So I hope you do too. We're almost done. And we're going to start. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use a 3/8 stencil brush. And as I keep saying, I love their stencil brushes. Okay, that's good enough. So we're just going to place it on here. So let me see. So I am going to try it about right there. I think it's about center. And I don't generally tape my stuff down, but I'll stick a piece up there. And I'm going to use some white paint is how we're going to start this. And this one's going to be tan and brown is what color it's going to be. Oh, I forgot to show you the background. So let me take that back off. If you wanted to do a background, you could do the flowers on the background of this, or we could do the dots again. What do you think? You have them too, Judy? I just looked over. Yep. So do you want to do, you can do the dots, or I can do the flowers like I did on the side. Or do you think the flowers would be too busy? So that's what the flowers look like on the side. Do you think that would be too busy, the dots? I think everyone's saying the dots, or that's what I'm seeing pop up. The dots. So this is the random dot stencil, and I think I told you wrong last night. The stencil stuff was saying like there's a number right here, and you can feel it, and it will tell you the size too, which is handy to know. So it's extra, extra small is the one for this one. So let me get a paper towel, and I'm going to just use this 3/8, and I'm just going to load it and then offload it on a paper towel. And I'm just going to try to go down through here real quick and just randomly put some dots. And I don't want them super, I mean, I want them to show up, but I don't want them to take away from the bunny. But that's the great thing. I love a background stencil. I just think it can just really liven something up. So, oops. So I will do this. I kept trying to think today, like all of the steps that I could skip to speed it up, but then I don't want to like skip so much that you're going, what? You know, like, I don't know. Oops. So I don't really need to do in toward the middle so much because the bunny will go there. So I don't really need to do that. Do I have that lined up right? So I'm just going to I can kind of miss that middle part. And then as I'm coming down here, let me see. I'm just going to randomly, because as it comes further down, it really fills up the board. So I was going to say, as soon as I did that, I thought, I think I had an overlay right there. I need to erase that one. And always have your baby wipe ready, because it comes in really handy. Because if you're like me, you'll end up making a mistake at some point, and it's handy to have a baby wipe. So I loved the dots on this. I thought it was just really cute, and I loved how you could make them very kind of subtle, just so they show up, but they aren't overpowering anything. So, whoops, that kind of, I thought, well, I'll put one there, and then, no, that doesn't look good there. How about wipe that one off? Okay. So let's come in on some of those. And I think we're good. I think we got enough on there. So, but it'll just show up just enough to, I'm going to stick one there anyway. Okay. So I think we're good. So let's get back to our stencil. So we'll tape that back up there. Try to get it lined up. Okay, so now we're just going to use that same stencil brush and load and offload. And we're just going to, we want to, you know, stencil the outline of this bunny on there. And that's what we're going to use as our guide. So I think these are just adorable. I think they would sell, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I think they would sell really well, but I also think they'd make fabulous gifts too, if you wanted to gift one. So I'm not, like, you don't have to be really, I mean, I don't want it to bleed, but it doesn't even really matter if it bleeds, because we're going to pull hairs out over this. But we need this on here to kind of get our bunny pattern or bunny template on there. So I don't need to go into the face area or anything. I'm just totally going on the outline of the bunny. Okay? So I think that's good. I feel like I'm playing beat the clock because I'm trying to go so fast. Okay, so that's what we've got. That's where I wetted it down and it left a spot there. So that gives us the outline of our bunny. So we can lay this aside for now. We'll need to use it for the eyes and for the wording and all that. But for now, that's all we need. So I'm going to put a baby wipe over my stencil brush so it doesn't dry out, but I don't want to put it in water yet because I may need that again. I'm never just sure, so I like to wrap my brushes. Okay, so now I'm just going to take, this is just kind of a long brush, flat brush, and we're going to base this in. Again, you do not have to be super precise about it because we're going to pull hairs out over that line. And the line stops right here, so you're just kind of gradually bringing it down and coming out a little bit. So we're just going to rapidly fill that in. Okay. So how many of you are already ordered your stencil? Because I know I had told you ahead of time that I would be using that stencil, and I think a lot of you already ordered it, but maybe I'm wrong, but I think you did. Oh no, I think I just got paint on my shirt. The Bunny Bash shirt, no. But I did. I usually do pretty good about that, but hang on. Okay, I had to wipe it off. Have y'all ordered your shirts? We're getting close on selling out, so if you have not ordered it, make sure you do. The order cuts off on Thursday, so make sure you order. It seems like every time, I always feel bad because I don't want to keep reminding you, like, order a shirt, but we always get an email like, can I still order? And either they're sold out or they're just or we've already cut it off and got the shirt order in. So make sure you get it ordered if you want one. Okay, so see how I filled in the body, and now I'm just down to the head. And like I said, you don't have to be really, you don't have to follow those edges precisely because that will all get pulled paint over. Okay, and then this doesn't have a connecting line, but you're just going to kind of gradually bring it up. No big deal, no pressure there. Just pull it down and kind of let it meet. Again, you're going to be pulling little wispy hairs out over that, so it just won't matter. So we're going to fill this part in with the brush and try to get it fairly solid. And then we'll go back in and sponge some in to kind of finish it off. So I'm going to paint this ear separated just like it is on the stencil. I'm going to kind of do it separated so I can still tell where the separation is instead of just basing it all in at one time. I want there to be kind of a line there. So I keep looking over and thinking maybe, hang on, do I have you up, down too close, or am I too close to you? No, I think I moved you further away. I was trying to, it felt like it was too close and I don't want to be out of frame when I move it around. Well, I said I was trying to stay in my line, and then I went back to painting and whooshed it right up through there. Okay. So, you can tell, or I can tell, I don't know if you can tell online, but I can still tell where that separation is. So that's easy does it. And we got that all filled in. Okay, so now I'm going to hit it with the dryer and look over here at comments so we can get it dry and then go over again. Yeah, this is a 2x6, and the length of it, let me see. The length of the board is cut 12 inches long. So it's a 2x6, 12 inches long. And a 2x6 isn't actually 2x6, it's actually like 5.5. You know, they're never what they actually, what is that called? Common board size or... Okay, so it's a 2x6 board and it's cut 12 inches in length. Or you can use a 1-inch board, a 1x6 cut in 12-inch lengths if you don't want to use a 12 or a 2-inch. But I usually just, when I get, I've told you that before, like if I get a 2-inch long board, or a, yeah, 2-inch, like 2-inch thick board, sorry, I like cut it all up at one time and into like various lengths, like whatever I think I'm doing. Or if I don't really know, then I kind of just make random lengths of it. And I try to keep them on hand, and I'll like spray them with flat, not matte, but flat white paint, like primer paint or something. And then I just have them ready to go whenever I want to use one. So I try to keep 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s. Okay, so now I'm going to, so I can fill this in quicker, I'm just going to take a cosmetic sponge and go in here and just fill in the rest of it. And then we will start adding in our fur. Last night I kept saying fur for a sheep, and I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't think of the right word. But tonight, I can say it, fur. We're going to put his fur on. So, let's see, we're moving right along. I'm just kind of tapping in that area up to his neck. And then kind of bringing it back down the side. But it just helps fill it in and kind of gives us a good base. So, we can get going. Whoops, I think I have too much paint on that. Okay, and I'm going to do his face area because we have some of it that shows through more than any other place. So I'm going to tap around on his face one more time. Actually, I think the peach corally color may show through more than my other two. I think they were a little calmer in color, and I didn't go back over it again like I am this one. But it is showing through more than I thought it would. All right. So I keep that baby wipe because anytime I do get outside of it, if I'm outside very far, I just wipe it off. But it always feels like I'm going to pinch that sponge so I can go right up there in the corner. It always feels like the sponge kind of covers it pretty well after you get going. All right, so there is our bunny. We are ready to go. Let me make sure his bottom, where we're going to start down here at his bottom, the bottom area. That didn't sound right. His bottom area. Body. That's what I need to say. Sheesh. Oh, goodness. Way too tired. Okay. So now I'm going to start with, this is the 1/4 inch wispy brush. Oh, I wish I knew how to describe those hairs. All right, so I am going to use rusted pipe, and it's just like a good medium type brown, and that's what I'm going to use. So first off, we're going to do some floating real quick, and then we're going to get into using our hairbrush, or rake brush, fur brush. I'm going to call it a fur brush. Okay, so, and it's not like, you guys will love this kind of floating because it's just pretty rough shading. Like we're moving along with it. So you don't have to be as precise and like super great. So I'm just going to go right along the edges because I want those edges to be brown. And it's just a sloppy floating, very sloppy. But we want that, like it doesn't have to like feel like it's bleeding out just perfect and all that. We just want to lay that line in there. So this is just an angled brush. And let me see. I don't know what size it is. I was trying to read the size on it. So you're just scooting down all the sides, and we're going to do this on all the sides. On the ear area, we're going to, where that division is, or was, we're going to take that, still follow that, and go up with that brown. And same on this side. That's where I kind of wanted to, that's why I tried to paint it more separate so I could still see where that was going to be at, that division. And then I'm going to go back down this side. So we're just literally outlining or floating all the outlined area. Okay. Just kind of jagged down through there. It's so windy here. I can hear it outside. I think we're supposed to get some storms. It's like 70 degrees today. It was so warm. It's been unseasonably warm. We got some rain this morning, but then the rest of the day I think it's pretty good. Okay. I'm going to come up the base. I feel like I just either have too much paint or not enough. All right. So let's go down the inside of those ears. The inside. Each step we take, he just gets a little bit closer to being cute. This is just kind of a half-hearted little area there across his ears. Okay, let's go around the bottom of his face. And that's just kind of... All right. Now we can get started with our hair. Fur. See, now I'm saying it wrong. Oh boy. I'm gonna make sure that's dry so I'm not, it does cover well when you use a sponge. I have bigger ones and sometimes I cut like the car sponges apart when I'm trying to cover a really large area. So, alrighty, here we go. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm just going to kind of work up. I get some on my brush. Let's see if I can move that over a little bit. Hang on. Let me move that. So I'm going to get some on my brush and use my paper towel and kind of wipe it off. So I want there to be paint on there, but I don't want like a ton, but I want, obviously for it to be able to see. So I'm just going to start just pulling some wispy areas. Hang on a minute. This is what I forgot. I was going to lighten that just a tad. And then I'm going to go back in with the dark color, but I forgot to lighten it a little bit. So you could also just pick a lighter shade of the brown, but I love just to add white to it and just get the perfect lighter shade of whatever color. Just easier sometimes, but then sometimes if I have the color, like on the gray one, I used gray sky, and then I also used slate gray. So because I have those colors, and I have, just have a lot of them, so I ended up doing it that way. So there is a good lighter color. So let's go back in here, start that again. So we're just going to kind of work up. I'm kind of just making wispy little brush strokes, and sometimes I pull out to the sides when I get closer to the sides. But it'll look like there's times, both times I painted it, where I was like, oh wow, that looks a little sketch. Like it looks sketchy. It just didn't look like I thought it should be looking. And I would almost kind of, like both times, think, oh dear. But you just have to kind of keep going and it comes together. It was kind of like when we've done beards, like when we've done Santa beards and stuff. I think I've said that before, like just keep going. It'll get there. So, and then I'm going to come back and just kind of go over the edges a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to make sure it's dry. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a few places here and there. Make sure I don't have too much paint. And if I do, I always keep a baby wipe. If I do get like a really dark spot, you can wipe it off and just let that area dry and then just go on. So now as I'm getting close to this edge, I'm going to turn it up on the side and kind of let some of those wisp out over that brown line. And this lighter color isn't showing up great yet, but it's still just part of the process. But yeah, I'm just kind of turning it and letting it pull out. You'll see it better when I switch to the darker. But it's kind of fun to pull out those little wispy places. And then you can come back in and just kind of randomly work up and down and then up. And just kind of hit places. It gets scary because it's like, is he going to be like a calico cat or something? Because he just gets splotchy looking, I guess. But it all comes together. Okay, so now we're going to go up to his face. We'll come back down and add darker and then some lighter. But we're going to come to his face. And so where his cheeks are here, we're just going to kind of imagine the middle. So I'm just going to kind of pull some out, going this way. You can come out over that line. You're fine if you come out over that line. And so then I was trying to stay in camera, so I thought I'll switch hands. Well, I can't paint with my left hand. I'm going to erase that. Okay. Well, I'm trying to see how I can get around the camera there. So just, you know, continue to pull it, but I kind of pull it up and over. Like I'm going swoop, 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 swoop. Maybe I put the background too dark. So you just keep pulling it out. And then you can wipe your brush off really good and kind of lightly go in that middle area. But you want to kind of keep it light. You don't want to lose that lightness. Okay, so now I'm going to go pull some wispies out on the sides. And I'm turning that brush up, so instead of laying it flat and getting a bunch of wispies, I'm just using this edge. So I'm letting it pull out. I'm just pulling out over the edge. So now that I've got that part in, see, I put a big fat spot, but don't let that worry. You just take it off and go back over it. Okay, so now this part, his eyes are going to be about, you can, if you need to, you can lay the stencil back down. I'll untape him, but you can kind of see, oh, his eyes are going to go there or wherever. So we're going to kind of now, this area, we want his eyes to be. So I'm just going to kind of come this way. I'm going to leave an eye area for him. And go up around his head a little bit. Let me reload here. So I'm kind of coming up, swooshing out. I know this part isn't that exciting, but it's just, that's just what we have to do to get where we're going. So, so I'm going to pull it out over the edge. And then I'm going to take a little bit and go light in here where the eyes are going to go. Because he has some fur there, but I just don't want it to be covered as much. So I'm going to kind of bring that up around. And then under his eye area, or ear area, I'm just going to kind of round that out. And this part, it's kind of a weird place, but by the time we get done with his hair, his fur and stuff, and then his flowers and everything on there, it ends up all coming together, but it looks weird at first. I think it looks pretty strange. So, I think I have this side indented, my white area is indented a little more. Okay, so now we're going to come up the ear area, and I'm just going to come up and kind of, as I'm coming up, I'm kind of just wisping those out, and I'm more standing my brush up on the end now. It's not exactly flat. Same thing on this side. And those wispy little hairs just do the work. And let's do the outer. Same thing. You're just standing that up and going up to your ear. And then we'll go in and blush that ear, this ear area. If you don't feel like you're getting good wisp, then just get back in the paint and pull some more hairs. Okay, so now I'm going to take this 3/8. Well, let me go ahead and just use, I have this one in white. So I'll go ahead and use it. I need a dry paper towel though. That one's a little bit damp. So I'm just going to wipe a little of that off. And let me find my paint. So I'm just going to use, I'm going to put a little bit of cottage rose out. I'm also going to put a tad of that paradise sun, or that prairie sunset that I used in the background. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there because I want it to have a little bit of an orange tone too. Okay, so I'm going to wipe that stencil brush off pretty good. And then I'm just going to pull it up through there and blush that ear. Look how pretty the blushing looks. Let me reload my brush here. All right. I'll put that back in the baby wipe. Okay, so now I'm going back to my brush. And I'm going to come and pull some up into the ear area there. And I'm standing that brush on its end again. And just kind of pulling some wispies up in there. Okay. And then you can switch to this littler one if you want. Like I said, I did my first one with just a 1/2 inch. But this one definitely is nice because it is littler. But if you don't want to buy 2 brushes and you just want to do it with the 1/2 inch, it's definitely doable. So, but you can make some littler hairs with this one as you go up that ear. Well, that put too much. Let me do that again. I'll go over here while that one's dry. So it kind of softens that line. And like I said, this color doesn't show the hair up as much, but you'll see it when we get into that darker color. Then you can come down here and go a little bit in that outer part, but we want to keep that pretty light. Okay? So what do you think? You think he's crazy looking yet? He looks very, very weird right now. So standing the rake brush up also gives you a whisper hair too. Yes, like so, instead of it giving a bunch, it's kind of just hitting just a couple, and they're all at different lengths. So yeah, it just kind of wisp out good. So okay, I'm going to come back down with the lighter before I switch to the dark, and I'm going to pull some. Sometimes I hit it with my finger like that too if I want to tone something down, which I've done it twice there. I keep running into my camera above me, trying to get up under there. So I'm just pulling that down over a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's get into the darker. I know a lot of you are going, oh my word, what in the world is she doing? All right. So now I'm going to get in my brown. And then kind of work it in and wipe it off a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over Let's see if it's going to make, we might have to darken it a little bit because of the color of my background, which, like I said, I did not have to do that on the green one. I did not do that. So I'm going to add some espresso to it and make it a little bit darker. I think it's just, the color's just darker. The background color is a little bit darker, so it's just not standing off of it as much. Let's see if this does. So we're just kind of repeating this process, but you can kind of move maybe a little faster. But when you come to that edge, kind of pull it out some. And I like to, like I have done each time, I like to kind of start at the bottom and then just keep working up. I don't know if it matters. That's just how I did it. This is how I did both of them, so. Just keep working up and out. I'm kind of going out to the side, and then we'll go back and work on those sides some more. And then I just kind of look at it and see if I think I need to hit somewhere, then I can randomly put some in. But let's work some of these out. So you're coming, just kind of letting them go out on the side. And it'll pull a real wispy looking end on it. I was trying to decide if that was too dark, but we'll add, that is too dark. We'll be adding some white in too, so it kind of can tone down some places if you feel like you get it dark. But just standing it up, and I'm going to work my way right down that side. But I love when you start seeing the those wisps start coming out. You have to be careful. You don't erase a lot like that. Sometimes it will smudge it a little bit, but you can fix it pretty easy. So can you see how it kind of gets wispy now that it's darker? Can you see how it wisps it as it pulls it out? I know it still looks very splotchy. And that's totally normal. So you can go pull here and there. And then we will move on up. So he's going to be darker than my other one, since I had to move up a shade there. Okay. Question, when you go back for the second time with the dark color, do you go over the same spot as the first, or do you just go above? Or do you go above or below? No, I just started and went the same way. And you don't have to be as careful when you're going back the second time. You can be kind of quicker and more random with stuff. It's all pretty forgiving, I think. But it just looks so goofy right now. So it's hard to, you just want to go, oh my. So I'm going to come back to here and pull some dark. And come out on that end. Stand that brush out and pull some out over that cheek line. And of course, they all turn out different. Some look way fluffier or hairier or furrier than others. This side is hard for me because of, I keep saying that, I don't mean to keep saying it, but it's really hard for me to get into it because of the camera. So I feel like I'm botching this side up. I keep making mistakes over here. like I don't really want to have to erase that because I don't want that to smear, and I know it will. But let me hit it with the dryer. That's what I mean, though. It is very forgiving because you can wipe it and then, good night, Missy. You can wipe it and then go right back over it with that brush. Okay, let me turn it. Maybe that is a better option. There we go. Then I can pull it. So now I'm going to have to go in and pull some longer ones there. If you wipe off a spot and it looks funny, by the time you start going back over it, it kind of just camouflages it, so you don't really see it in the end. Okay, yeah, he's going to be definitely darker, but that's what I said. They all never look the same anyway. But okay, so now I'm going to wipe that brush off really good. And I'm going to come back into the middle really light-handed. Really light-handed. And kind of hit that middle area a little bit so it just doesn't look like it's abruptly stopping there. I'm going to smudge it around. Okay, let's move on up his face. Okay, so now reload my brush with some dark. I'm going to turn it on its side and kind of pull it up and over. It looks like he's got some wild, they're not eyebrows, but looks like out of control eyebrows or something. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in that eye area where the eye side where the eye will be and put some little places. I'm trying to get a bolder one in here and I can't get it to go bold. I guess I keep, there we go, wiping it off too much. Okay, and on this side, I'm going to do that. He looked like he was bald right there. I'm not wanting to be bald. Maybe I should have, I definitely need to pull my camera up higher, or else left it in landscape maybe. Alright, so now we're just coming around the top of his head. Kind of filling in, and then I'm going to lay it on its side again. Kind of come around that ear area. And then I'm going to do real light right down his nose area, or where his nose will be. Alright. Now, let's go up here. So I'm pull some. I might need to put more paint out. I'm not picking up enough. So you're going to pull from this area. I think I need more paint. That looked a little crazier than I wanted it to. Let me see here. Let me get some more of the brown out. Mix that. Sorry about that. I thought I would have enough and then I did not. Okay. I still don't know if I have it right. So I'm going to go up this ear like I just did and then erase it. And I'm just standing that up and kind of, I'm like heavy-handed, so, but I'm trying to make it lighter through there, like wispier. And then I love coming up the sides of the ears. It looks really neat how it kind of wisps out on it. Okay, and then we'll come up that. I'll probably might switch to that littler brush. Turn him around here. Nope, I don't think I wanted it that hairy. That furry. Good night. I keep doing that. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, you can see the grain in the wood underneath. It kind of left lines right there. Okay. I'm going to wipe that brush off pretty good. And then I'm going to come in here. Just put some really, really fine lines through there. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to get some white. And we're going to work in the white a little bit. So I'm going to take my brush and get it in there. I'm going to go to my little brush right now because I'm looking at something that keeps bugging me because I don't think I got the face rounded out good there. Let me turn this one this way. So are you worried? Are you still thinking, this is ridiculous? Do you trust me, or are you thinking, no, this is not, this is crazy? I don't blame you if you do, because I doubted myself when I was doing it. Okay, so I'm going to go in the white now, and we're literally just going to kind of just go down here and throw in some white in places. And if you have a place that's really bold or something that you don't particularly like, you can hit it with the white even more so. Well, I did that twice. Okay, wipe that off, and then I'm going to go to the other side while that dries. So, I'm going to come to this area down through here. Okay, now I'm going to stand it up on the side and let it wisp down through there. That's my favorite part, like those little side wispies. I think they're so neat. How they kind of just flare out there. He's definitely way darker. I know I've already said that, but I just keep thinking, wow, he's a lot darker. A lot darker. So I'm kind of going back now that I did white once. I'm kind of going back. Kind of throwing some more in. Right. It's quiet when I'm not talking to you. Okay. So let's go up the face, and we'll probably have to come back down and throw some more stuff in there. But for right now, I'm going to pull some white on his face. Whoops. Okay, let me turn it. Oh my, I looked up at the camera, I'm like, oh wow, it looks scary in the camera. Or on the iPad when I looked up, it looks worse on the camera. Okay, I'm going to stand it now. One thing I need to go back and put some darker down here. I have not done that yet. I do need to do that. Well, I don't know if I want that white. We'll see. I might have to go back in and I was trying to lighten it through there. Okay. And I'm going to pull from there and go up. And this part of the head's just weird. I feel like it just kind of gets swirled around there. Okay. So now I'm going to come up that ear again and use get my hang on, I put my paint up my arm through that paper towel. This usually like really softens and makes the ears look neat. Like I love this part of it. I think it looks really neat. Like you can just see those little hairs wisping out. I don't know if you can see well. I'll try to, well, I think you're pretty close. Maybe you can. So see how that ends up on that ear, how that comes up. It looks really cool how they wisp out. I definitely think my background is way too dark. I should have muted it with a little more white, and I did not. I thought it was okay. I should not have done it that dark. But I did. So now we just gotta roll with it. Oops. Too white. Okay. He's got some furry ears. Okay, now we're gonna go pull that toward that inside, that line up there. And then I'll pull some through here. Okay. I'm trying to pull a little bit more there and come around the ear there. All right. So you can go back in and even use that little one and see if you can get some finer wisp there if you want. But it is good to get in little places like right here at the top of this ear. Like it does pretty good. What's that? how did I do that? How did I get that line of paint right there? Did y'all see me do that? Because I didn't. And I'm taking off the background. When did I do that? Well, I'll have to fix that. I rubbed it so hard I took the background right off of it. That's not good. I don't know. I guess maybe when I put out white paint, and I must have slung it right over it. Let me get a... That's the bad thing about shading down your paint, is if you need some more, then you have to match it. And that's not always good. Oh, I'll fix it. The queen of fixing mistakes. I can fix it after the live. I can go back in and make sure I get it fixed. Sorry about that. I just looked over and saw that and was like, what did I do? Okay, so now we have him that far. And I'm going to get, I always like to go back, like you can see it, how I did it in the gray. I went back with some really darker, almost, I took black and mixed it with some white and went back and pulled a few places. And then I did the same thing on this one with some darker brown. But I need to bring, before I go real dark, I'm going to bring some hair down over this neck area. And then I'll have to put some white back in it. But I did not do that earlier. I usually pull some, because you want the fur like it's his head, from the fur from his head kind of coming down over that body. And I did that last, after I had worked on his face and stuff. I added that. So I'm going to kind of try to do it real wispy and kind of come out and down. I just want its head to look like, I guess, more separated right there. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of white in there and pull some. Okay. Alrighty, now let's go into that darker color and hit just a few dark places. Actually, I'm going to put, I don't have a really dark, yeah, I do. I was trying to see if I had a darker brown. I think dark chocolate's a little bit darker. Okay. So I'm going to go just a few little real dark wisps there. So just every now and then. And then this will be the end of that. End of the furring. Good night. If I can pick it up, I keep not. I don't know if I need to rinse my brush or what. There we go. I like to pull a few real dark. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to like pull something really dark. But here and there, it kind of adds to it. So I'm going to add a few in there. I'm just trying to lightly pull in here and then kind of getting a little harder as I come off. mess this up. But just some of those darker wisp just end up kind of helping it right at the very end, I think. And so we'll just do a little bit on the ears, and then we'll kind of call it on that. Just want a few up in there. I love the ears. I just think they look neat. Okay. So now we're going to put the eyes and nose in, and that makes a big difference in how he looks. Like it kind of pulls it all together, kind of. So you kind of just feel like he's, wah, but then it gets better. So that's how it looks. And literally, I know I say this a lot, but it always looks so different when I look up at my iPad, like it looks like crazier. But let's do the eyes so you can see that process. So, and I know we're going longer. I know, I knew that it would take longer. So let's go up, let's see, to reveal his eyes here, her eyes. You can kind of just move your tape for the most part, but I'm not going to try to save it. I'll just kind of go in, and I'm just going to let its eyes show, but I'm going to tape that little, there's a little eyelash right there on the side. So we'll fix it, we'll round it out, but I am taping that little eyelash area off on its eye right there. And then we'll just go in. So we'll go in and lay in the white. So I'm going to kind of use the ears up here to gauge where I want the eyes. I can pretty much tell where I had it. But depending on how far you pulled your hair out, your fur out, you might need to move it like a little bit. Just kind of gauge it. So I'm going to get that same stencil brush out, and since I'm using such a dark color, I think I can get away with just, I hate washing brushes. So I'm just going to use this again. I'm just going to put some black in it and kind of work it off. It just had some of that pink, but it didn't have a lot on it. So now I'm going to work that off and then offload that black. So make sure I've got them where I want them here. So I think they're good. So then I'm just going to go right in and tap it in. Okay. So then you end up with that. So we're going to fill it in now with one of these little eyeliner brushes. So now we're just going to round it out. And just go right up that side. And these brushes work perfect for that. And just kind of round it out. And come down around the bottom. And then just fill in the hole. Its eyes are really easy to do, but they really, really make him. So same on this side. You're just going to kind of start up a little above it or below it, and then just kind of come down around, and then fill it in. Easy peasy. Okay. All right, let's put a nose on him. So I didn't use the nose on the stencil. You can if you want, but I just put a nose in. It's really easy to gauge the nose. So you're just going to come you know, like way down here. And you can even, if you're going to use glasses and you feel like you need to put those on there, you can even do that if you're trying to gauge like the nose. But pretty much it's just down a little ways. That's just the best way to describe it. And I just kind of made a kind of an arch and then just brought it down like a home base plate or some baseball is what it reminds me of. Is that what that's called? And then we'll just fill it in and kind of shape it if we need to. But I'm going to put some white out. All right. Well, I need some more paint on there. Okay, so while that's wet even, I'm going to go pick up a little bit of white. Well, I said a little bit, and it ended up to be a lot. And I'm just going to, while that paint's wet, just go ahead and kind of work that white in on the left side. Kind of work it around, and then tap it with my finger a little bit. Just to make that a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to dry it. Okay, so my floating brush that I already used, I'm going to get that back out. And I'm going to put in a little more white just with my angle shader. I'm just going to kind of go up that side. And over a little bit. And then I'm going to go in the brown I had out. Just for a little bit of darker on the other side. I'm just going to come up across the top half there and then down that side. And then hit it with my finger a little bit. I took it back off when I went back over that top. So that's what I'm trying to fix there. Well, I still took it back off, I think. But he looks so much better just to get a nose and eyes, doesn't he? I'm trying to get that place on his nose dry. It's giving me fits. Okay. Make sure we get that really dry. And then I'm going to take a little dry brush. I really don't dry brush on him much, but I am going to take a little bit and just go across his nose a tad. Just softens it a bit. All right. And then let me get my liner. And I'm going to take that little eyeliner brush and I'm just getting in some white paint. My palette is a mess. I'm just kind of pulling and twisting as I come out. And I'm going to put like a little swoop across there. And then I'm going to use that same brush and twist it and pull out. I'm going to take a lot of the paint off though. And on this eye, I'm just going to start right here about halfway in the middle of the eye and then kind of let it drag up. So it's a more wispy looking, softer line. I'm going to go back over it just so it's a little bit wider. But I want it to look wispy like that. And then same thing on the other side. Whoops, I think I'm going to come this way. Except that was not wispy. Let me get some more paint. So So I'm just going to drag it down the same way. And then, like with a lighter hand, I don't want it to be as prevalent. I'm going to kind of go down the other side too. But I want it way lighter. It's just like it gives it a little bit of a shadow, but it's not like a ton. Just a little bit. Okay, and then we need our dotting tool, and we're just going to put a dot right up at the top. Right there. This eye. Okay. And then I need a little bit of that pink, and I'm going to pull that down. Down his face. And you can put a little mouth if you want. Like I kind of did it lighter than the line. I just kind of put a little tiny mouth, and we have to outline his nose. There's a line right here in the wood that keeps showing up right there, and it's driving me nuts. Like when I look up at the camera, it looks like it's abruptly stopping right there, and it's a line. It's like a ridge in my wood. So I'm going to try, see if I can make that look not so much like a line. When the whiskers get over it, it'll probably help it too, but I don't want it to look like it's a line. So you can also pick out places that you think, oh, I want something there. Or not. I'm just trying to get a little bit right through there. I keep picking up one spot there. Okay. Stained it on its end there. Okay, there he goes. You can mess with it all day long and just keep doing stuff to it. So I took my micro pen and just kind of went around the nose. I didn't use a continuous line. I just kind of hit and missed it, and then very scantly I kind of took it down through there. And then you can add some whiskers. The whiskers are always just nerve-wracking to me. So, whoops. So I'm going to use brown whiskers. I'm trying to think what if I need. I was trying to add a little bit of black to see if maybe I want them to show up, but I don't want them to be black. I want them to be more brown. But I was afraid that I got his face a little darker in there. Okay. I don't know. I still might have them too dark. Sorry, I keep forgetting you can't see me scribbling around over here on my palette. That looks ridiculous. Okay. So on this side, it's like the whiskers, you never are for sure if you're going to get them the same. So I'm just going to kind of go for it and pull it out. And then if I need to go back over them, which I do, I like to make them look wispy as they come out. So I just kind of start them and arch them. It's always so hard on the other side. Or for me it is. So It's like you have to get that same, or you feel like you need to get something close to the other side. But you can always wipe it off if you don't. And I'm not sure if I did on that or not. It's not arched as high. And it might be okay, but I don't know. Maybe I should just leave it. I was going to try to take it back a little bit and see if I could arc it up a little more. But maybe I should have just left it alone. Yep. Join it back in there. I might have to fix that. It got a little thick on that one side. I did it again. Ah! So I'll just thicken the other side, I guess. It definitely got thicker right there. It shows up a little bit better, but I don't know. So let's lay his glasses on him and see how he's looking. He's looking cute, isn't he? It just all starts coming together. This rabbit definitely looks harsher than my other one. I'm trying to think what I can do, because I just went so dark. So I'm trying to think what I can do to fix him. I'm sorry about that. Of course, when you do one online, it ends up looking crazy. So, but this part on all of mine looked a little whatever, but when you lay the wording on and do that, that really kind of, I don't know, it kind of just, all that kind of gets camouflaged, so to speak. But like, I love his ears. It's just like every step, I felt like the whole time on every one of them I did, I kept thinking, oh my, like that looks whatever. And then I'd finish the next step and then I'd be like, oh, I like that. You know, I'd just keep going from one thing to another. So, but I just kind of try to measure down here and make sure I get it sort of in line. And then, so I just use black and go in, and I'm using a 3/8 stencil brush again, but just going in and uploading and offloading, because you don't want to bleed on this. And then just kind of, these brushes do really well with good crisp lines. So the glasses I just painted black, and then I dry brushed them. I don't know if I'll lay them right here. I don't know if you can see that. Like, you can see where I dry brushed over them. So it kind of toned down the black. And then also that white, like when you let the brush hit the edge of it, it picks up a little bit of white on the very rim of the glasses. And it just makes them look good. And then I like to put the little dots on the sides. I just use the dotting tool. Now when I'm doing wording, I never want it to look like stenciled wording. So anytime there's an intersection, like right here where that L is joined together, I'll go a little bit darker in those areas, because I'm going to fill that in with my liner brush. And so those areas I kind of want to be darker. So I think I had too much paint there. But I love to use stencils for lettering, and then kind of, you know, I've showed you that for years, like how you can join them together and shade and do all that, and it just makes a huge difference when you do that. It really changes it and makes it look like lettering, or not. It makes it look like it's not a stencil. This is, well, gosh, now I just thought, I don't even know what time it is. I was going to save the lettering and try to go on tomorrow, which I still have to go on tomorrow. But I just kept working, and just keep working toward it. This is like my favorite thing. I just love doing it, creating it, watching it all come together with each step. And literally, when I did the first one, I kept, like I've already said, like thinking, oh my word, this is crazy looking. It is not coming out. And then it just, with each step, it just keeps coming together. And then with the gray one today, when I was doing it, same thing. I just kept going, oh my word, like that looks crazy. And then it ended up just pulling together, you know. And then this one was really that way because I think of my bunny colors just got, I'm going to put some fresh black out so I can make sure it's working good. So I just love to take the little liner and I take a lot of the paint off of it because I don't want it to be super bold. But I just go in with a pretty light hand and close those gaps. I try to use a light hand so it doesn't end up being like just like a solid place. When the rest of it was kind of stenciled, it doesn't have a solid look. So I try to keep it kind of on the wispy side, I guess. But I just kind of go and join them all together. Any place you see a gap. And it doesn't take that long to do it, but boy, it makes a big difference. So I hope you try it. But just remember the whole time, like, keep going, keep going, keep going, trust the process. And if you don't have one of those brushes, I hope that you get one and try it. They're not expensive. I think the one on Amazon was, I think I paid $6 for it. The one at, well, maybe it wasn't $6. I don't remember how much it was. The one at Hobby Lobby, I think, was $6.99. But it's just it's just like a fun brush. Got a little bit too much paint on that, so I'm going to have to pull it out some. I really enjoyed learning to use it. Well, not really learning to use it, just I enjoyed using it, giving it a try. So, I did not spatter my other ones. I feel like I always spatter everything, and I did not. And I don't know if I should. Like, I don't know if I should spatter this. It might be a good idea. I don't know. Especially since this background is so a little on the bolder side. I wish I would have just picked, I almost did like a real light yellow. I thought yellow would be pretty, like a real light pale yellow. And then I decided, oh no, I'll do coral. Because I did one of the sheep backgrounds coral and I really liked it. And then I just guess I got it too dark. Not quite muted enough. All right, we're almost to the end of this, and then we can throw in some highlights. My poor eyes are about shot. Okay, I feel bad because like I said, I don't even know what time it is, but I'm sure it's way long. All right, so there is our wording. So by the time you get the flowers on, that makes a big difference on his head as well. And it makes a big difference. So I'm going to take the same brush. I'm trying to get the black out of it. I'm going to go in the white. And I'm going to drag around on the letters. I'm going to make sure I have enough of the black out of that. So I'm gonna, I'm just taking my liner and kind of working some of the paint off and flattening the bristles out, kind of. And then I'm just gonna kind of start coming down in around areas, just kind of, just any area that I want to be highlighted, but I kind of want to be able to smush it down and drag it. So I keep coming and dipping in the white, but then coming back to this little patch and kind of flattening my brush out again. Because I like, well, I'm talking, and I like it to look draggy, not like a big line like I just did. That was a good example to show you. Don't do that. And then just kind of keep going and pulling it down your letters. And I think that looks, I think it looks neat when you do that. And then to just add some highlights to it. And then when we add the lines underneath and up the sides and stuff, then that helps too. But you can see just how just adding that to the lettering, how much it changes it. Just takes it from being real stark to just making it look really nice. So let's pull it down that. Oops. And then you can go back if you have some that look too washed out areas. You can go back and darken it. But I've really tried to flatten it out, so to speak, as I'm coming around. Oh, I got it in black. I pulled that brush across there and got it right in the black. Okay, so then come down around this. So then you can kind of look at it and see if there's any areas you can come back and make some little stronger white lines in places if you want. It's just, and like if you've seen me do that a couple times, if I get something too strong, I've always done that. I just kind of use my finger and kind of tone it down real quick. Okay, so now the last thing we'll do is add those little lines along the bottom or up the sides and stuff. Okay, and you can do that with the liner, and I often do, or you can use the micron pen. And we're just going to kind of go under and then to the, like to the right side of it. So I'm going to kind of go under here and then just kind of always stay on that one side. And that makes like a world of difference. I'm trying not to move this so you stay in frame. You can just kind of add them here and there. I think this one might need spattered, but I'm not sure. I decided to hurry and I should have not done that. I should have. When I get in a hurry or I feel like pressured, I guess, then I make more mistakes. Yep. I'll go up around that one a little bit. All right, I appreciate you hanging, those of you who've stuck around. I know it was long. All right, so there is the wording. I can throw his glasses on. No, I didn't bring a bunch of flowers up. Actually, I don't even know if I have enough for what I have, because I didn't bring my bin up. But I was gonna see like what some. like a little piece of greenery here and there. What it would look like. And you can pick whatever. Like I said, I'll probably go through my flower bin downstairs. I didn't think to bring the whole thing up. I have my bag up here from last night, but not all the things. But then you can lay, you could just glue things. You can kind of arrange it and glue them, however, but I was just trying to let you see how it looks. But I think that flower might be a tad big. I'm trying to see if I have anything else in here. Down in this bag of tricks here. This, I don't know that that's a good color. It needs something, a different color to stand off of it, I think. And this one's kind of tall. But anyway, when you get his flowers and greenery on there, I think he looks cute. So I like it. I mean, I definitely like it. It just looks very different than my other ones. It's just a little bolder. So, but I do like it. And then this, I tied jute and then ribbon. Look at my hands. And then I had a rusty jingle bells. So I painted them and added them to that. I just thought that was cute. So, but see, he's so much darker. He's very much darker. So, anyway. So what do you think? You think you'll try it? You think you'll try it? So, it is really, really fun. Just don't be, I really don't want you to be, I keep wanting to say nervous. I don't mean nervous, but just keep going. Like, keep going. Like, because you know at different times you had to have been thinking, oh my word. But then when you get it all done, oh, it needs eyelashes. I forgot her eyelashes. You're right. I just looked up and saw that comment. You can use your liner brush or the pen. I used the liner on these. You can tell. It kind of looks wispier when you use the liner. Let me see. I was going to say I don't think my paint is quite fresh enough, but let me see. But yes, it does need eyelashes. Well, I had them at the bottom. Some of you guys are like great at eyelashes, so you'll probably do a good job on that. But I don't think I have enough paint. I never feel like I'm great at eyes, but I still do them. I think my paint is just a little bit dry. Oh, I think I'm in the wrong pile. I put out a fresher pile. Let me turn this upside. Oops, now I made her flowers come off. Maybe I should have stopped while I was ahead. Okay. There she is. Okay. So when you do glue I always like to just put a little green snippets underneath and then the bigger flower in the middle, and then you can use the smaller ones. And I did want to show you that I forgot that I found these. I was looking for those bells today to show you the bells, and I found these at Hobby Lobby, and that's the colors they had, or they had these daisies, and then they had these little ones. And, of course, they were 40% off of that, so they were like $240. So they did have some of those paper flowers, and they were in with the Easter spring stuff. So, but then, let's add his glasses back, her glasses back. And then when you tie the stuff at the top, it just kind of finishes it off. And then we didn't do the sides of this. So I did the flowers on that. So you could go back and add that if you wanted. I think it looks really, really cute. So, but anyway, I'm sorry that it went so long. I told Mark, well, I told Beth this too. I think I told Megan too. I said, I am so nervous. Like, I'm not nervous to go live at all, but I was nervous about the project because I said, it just looks crazy at different points, and I'm afraid of what they'll think. And then I'm like, and what if it doesn't turn out? And then like halfway through it, and I'm looking up at the camera going, oh my word, maybe it's not going to. But I was really worried about it. And then I kept thinking, and it takes so long, and I don't I don't like to keep you that long. Hang on. Let me bring you up and turn myself from being upside down. So, okay. Yay, we're back. So, but thank you. Gosh, it's 10 o'clock. Oh my word. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I did not know it was almost 10 o'clock. Someone should have like blown a horn or something so I would know to stop and I could have finished it. So that is the first one I ever painted. And then this was the one I painted today, and I love the gray. And if you do it in gray, you just switch all the colors that I did it in brown. You just do, just do a darker gray as your shading, and then just do the levels of color the same way. So I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't. They're kind of thick. I don't know. I guess I could have. That probably would have been a good idea. I didn't think of that. Teddy, you should have, like, I don't know how you could have told me. I don't know. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of using they look kind of thick, but probably when you stencil them, they're not. Try that. Try stenciling with the whiskers, and it maybe won't be near as stressful. So cute. After Mark cut the glasses and I tried them, I'll lift this one up, but of course his flowers aren't on. When I put the glasses on, I was like, I love it. So that's the one we did tonight. You can see it closer. So he's cute. So I'll get a bell and some ribbon on him and get his glasses glued. I keep saying her glasses glued on. So this is, the bottom of this one probably looked the sketchiest of all of them I did, just because I used that darker to show up on this background. But remember, no matter how sketchy it looks down there, that wording goes over top of it, and so it kind of ends up muting it, so to speak. Oh, okay, Megan. Gosh, Megan, I feel bad because I'm sure you were like, want to go to bed. Mary Height. Let me get a Sharpie. Write it down somewhere. So anyway, don't panic. I keep saying that over and over. Don't panic till you get done. But the wording kind of helps camouflage stuff too. So, but yeah, you could use that stencil for the whiskers. Great idea, Teddy. So that is the one. And that's one of those things too, is when you're right up on it and you're looking at it, I think sometimes things look funny. My mom would always say that, like, you've heard me say that. A guy on a galloping horse is never going to notice that. A man on a galloping horse, that's how she'd always say. So I found the thing. This is what the top to the craft bells look like. I never did find the bells, and I bought another pack. But there are 40 in there. They're called mini cowbells, and they're at Hobby Lobby with all of the regular bells. And they are 0.70 inches, 18 millimeters. And they were $3.79 for 40 of them. And I don't know if they were on sale or not, because I can't remember. Has a little black spray paint on it from where it was laying out there when I was spray painting. But that's the tag, if you want to screenshot that and know what you're looking for. So, Polly loves her. Yeah, Polly Parrot, if she had been sitting here, she could have, like, cracked me on the head or something and been like, wrap it up. She could have done one of these. Get these wagons in a circle. That's what my mom would always say that too. Let's get these wagons in a circle and wrap this up. So, anyway. All right. So, I will for sure get her done. And I will for sure go live at some point tomorrow. It will probably be more in the evening. I was thinking I might do it in the afternoon, but I have Noah tomorrow. I would say probably in the evening. And I'm going to show you the grungy votive, show you how I painted the votive, show you how to put a coupler in the bag, because I have so many questions about that. And also, I will tell you that real quick too. The stencil for tonight, Gloria, is from Stencil Smith, and Megan had that pinned earlier. And also, if you go to my link tree, I don't know if Megan can throw it back in. I don't know if she is still on here. Megan. Oh my word. Oh, now she made me laugh and I can't think. What was I going to say? Oh, so I've had so many questions about the icing bags and the coupler and all that. So today, I just figured everyone had them. So today, I ordered some icing bags. So I will have them available when you order on Thursday. And they'll be like 15 cents a piece or 10. I don't remember how much they came out to. So if you don't typically use them, which I just figured everyone did. So you can just buy one. And then I also ordered some couplers. So if you don't, like I have a ton of them, but if you don't, you can pick up a coupler and they're under 50 cents. So, you can definitely do that. But Megan put the link there for the bunny stencil, and it is size, this one looks quite bad, but, it's size small. So that's what you'll want to pick. And I like to pick, it'll ask you in a drop down for the material, and I like to pick white Mylar, the 10 milliliter. So that's my favorite. So, and then the background stencils are on the stencil list too. I used, this is an extra small random dot, but those are all in that stencil list. If you go to my link tree, if you go to the link tree, the very first thing at the link tree is stencils I like, and I made this list for you, and this will come up when you click on it, and each one of these things are clickable, and it'll take you right to that stencil. So that's the flowers background, the polka dot background, that's the Hello Bunny, and it tells you the small, and then there's random other. We're going to be doing, it depends on how shipping goes. I don't know if we'll get it done next week or the next week, but we're doing 2 projects with the bunny in the watering can, and the carrot patch stencil. There's just so many carrot bunnies. There's so many that are so cute, but, anyway, yeah, the couplers are all the same. And you don't have to use a coupler. And I was reading through some comments and I saw, let me grab this bag. Like I saw where some people said, you don't have to have a bag. You can use the baggie. And you can. I have had baggies bust on me, though, before when I've used them. But this comes to just such a great point. I put this in, I put the tip also in my Amazon list for Bunny Bash. And that Amazon stuff, everything's in the link tree. But they're like $1.47 on Amazon. But you can, that comes down to such a small, you can't tell, my hand's so dirty, such a small point. You can snip that really tiny point and just use that. If you're really good and you've used the icing bag a lot, it'll be a lot easier. But this just makes it so much easier because it makes it very round. And especially for what we did on the sheep, that really makes it work. You don't have to use a coupler, but if you get a clog like I did the other day, you're shot. You have to unload the whole bag, which with a coupler, you don't have to. You can just unscrew it, take the tip off, fix it, and put it back on instead of the tip being dropped in. But I'll show you those things tomorrow when we do the votive. But I was just surprised at how many people didn't really have that or understand it. So, okay, Sherry said they have icing bags at the Dollar Tree. But I did get some couplers. They're very cheap. I think they're like 40-some cents. If you want to grab one of those when you order, and then the bags, I think would be like 10 cents or 12 cents or something like that. If you don't want to buy a whole package, it's just, you know, I just tried to make it easier for you since I got so many questions about that. So they will all be in there, and you can pick that if you want it. So I did want to tell you that. All right. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it so much. I was just so excited to show you this. The rake brush is just really fun to play with. So I hope that you give it a try. And someone asked me, and I wish I could remember her name, if I had an area where you could post pictures and show, and I'm like, no. And so she said something about, you should have a group to where people can share their stuff. And have you thought about that? And I'm like, no, I really haven't. we used to try to do it, and there was a community section, but that isn't there anymore. So I don't know. If I would love to do that. Groups, the only thing I hate about groups is I never get the notifications about it. I have to make myself go there and purposely look. And I don't always remember to do it because there's just so much that goes on. It's like, that scares me because I don't want to like not realize something's going on. So, but I would love to do that because I would love to see things that you try. I love to see it when you show me what you paint. So I hope you give it a try. Thank you for watching tonight, and I will see you back tomorrow for, it'll just be a short live, and we'll do the votive and a few things like that. And then our grand finale will be Thursday night, and we have a really fun, it's chick night, so we're having a really fun project with chicks, and we're going to do it a couple different ways, like couple different ways that you can use them. It is not going to be long and lengthy like this. They're easy to paint, but they're really, really cute. So that will be fun. So anyway, yeah, Megan, I could do that. That's a good idea. I could do that. Except then as that post moves down, it kind of gets buried. I don't know. I need to figure it out. So yeah, so I'm excited for Thursday night. Miss Megan hopefully is going to be in-house on Thursday night for the grand finale. So she's going to be here large and in charge, chirping away. Peep night. Chick night. She's going to be chirping around. We'll have to rope her down. So I'm glad she's going to get to be here, and that will be really fun. So I will see you tomorrow for a short live, and then we will end it all on Thursday night. So I'll see ya. Good night.